You're getting soft.
I don't want any senior accommodations.
Well, you already get 10% off on Tuesdays. So. Yeah, Alan gets a dark roast with extra cream and a stevia. Pinkies up for the stevia part. Hey guys, my name is Jake. Welcome back to We Should Be Golfing. We are so excited to be making videos again. I'll tell you what, we filmed a video, a couple weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, with full intentions on getting going again after the holidays. And I literally, and I'm sure some of you, let me know in the comments down below if you vibe with this or you've gone through this. I got the viral plague that's been going around, and I'll tell you what, and Alan's behind the camera if he wants to give everybody a shout out.
Hey.
I have been so sick for probably the better part of 4 or 5 weeks. I finally got back to full health and kind of got sick again somehow, I don't know. And then, finally this last week got back to what I would consider as full strength as I've been. So with that said, we are back, ready to rock, full of energy. And just because we haven't been making videos does not mean we have not been making progress on things for the channel. So given the time where I can't be out here talking to you guys, Alan and I have been cooking up kind of a response to the video that we made. And if you haven't gone and watched it, go watch it. We'll link it right now. Kind of our 6-month full state of the union, if you would, on the simulator, what we like, what we don't like, what has worked, what hasn't worked so far. So like I said, if you haven't gone and watched that, click it, kind of see, you'll get up to speed. But in the video, we mentioned a couple things we wanted to change. One of them being our turf setup. So if you want to step back and kind of look, and we think we've got the lighting right so you can kind of see it.
Yeah, you can see it fine.
Perfect. So as you can see, there's clear indentions from where we're standing, and it keeps getting worse and worse. And honestly, I don't know if it's the turf or the foam tiles that we bought from Amazon, but either way, we don't like that. That's one part of our build that has not worked out. So what we did was we were planning on actually just ordering this ourselves from SimTurf, the Easy Tee hitting mat. That part has been fantastic. And as you can see, we have our new hitting mat. And Alan in a second is gonna go and kind of show you exactly where we're gonna lay it and how it's gonna work and kind of the process we're gonna go through, since he's Mr. Math and I'm just kind of the pretty face on camera sometimes. Alan's actually the guy that knows what he's doing here, not me.
Let's not get carried away.
Well, maybe it's in the middle. Maybe it's in the middle. Alan's prettier than I am anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But, and by the way, what I'm about to say is only because of you guys. So infinitely from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. I know we say this a lot, but thank you for subscribing. Thank you for engaging with us in the comments and letting us know what you think. And we've had so many of you DM us and comment and email. And I got to be honest, over the last week or 2 or 3, I've had a couple people that have emailed me that I have not got back to because I've been sick. So don't worry if you're watching this, I'm going to respond. It's just trying to get caught back up with life. But because of you guys, SimTurf actually saw our video, which was so sick, and reached out and said, hey, thanks for featuring the product. And as you guys know, we do get referral, we have referral links and partnerships, but SimTurf is not somebody we have that with and really don't have any plans to do that. Obviously, we're open to it, so SimTurf, if you're watching, let's talk. But they were generous enough to say, hey, we loved the video, we love that you love our product, and they actually sent us out a couple things. They sent us this turf pad, which is awesome. So excited to get that installed. It's going to be a game changer. And then don't mind our cord mess that we haven't fixed yet, but they sent us the turf, the fringe turf that we've been wanting to stop balls from, kind of, I guess, stopping and rolling off the back, because our garage is sloped. So they sent us this fringe strip, and we haven't quite figured out how we're going to install it yet right now. It kind of feels like, and we've been testing it a little bit, just coming out in here hitting some balls, it feels like if we just do that, all the balls are stopping right here. Because this turf has a grain to it, and it's really nice and thick and high quality, just like the SimTurf Easy Tee hitting mat, same thing, same quality level, but the balls are kind of ricocheting off and rolling back and then just stopping. So that's obviously a little bit lighter than what's happening normally. I mean, even a little bit harder, stopping, and that's about the speed that they come in by the time they get back here. So that's gonna do the trick and solve that problem. One final thing, and SimTurf, like I said, they're so generous. We've kind of been kicking around having putting cups in here. So I know behind me is probably a mess, don't mind it, but this is raw and we're just talking. We've kicked around having putting cups, and they have them on their shop, and we're super excited that they sent them. What's cool about our setup is that obviously the entire thing slopes this way because garages slope away from the house to take water out. If there was ever water intrusion or flood, you don't want the water to get in the house, stay in the garage, and then have it drain out into the driveway. So what that means is kind of how we thought, let's put the cup here, and then we'll put another cup, because they sent us two, we'll put a cup here. And what's cool is, if we're putting like this, it's gonna be an uphill putt. If we putt like that, obviously it's gonna be an uphill putt. But what's unique is because of the slope, if we're putting from here to that cup, it's gonna be right to left breaking. And then if we're putting from here to that cup, it's gonna be left to right breaking. So we've got kind of a natural, I guess, what's the word? Undulation to the.
I like that word.
Yeah, undulation.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
It's the big word of the day.
Yeah, that's what. Who's the guy now that's in CBS's booth? Frank Nobilo. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're revolving door there.
Yeah.
But having that is going to be cool, and it's going to allow us to test something else that we picked up thanks to Y Golf, the putting thing. Now this piece of training aid, I guess, this training aid period, has been going wild on tour. I've seen a couple of tour pros using it. I've seen them at the country club all the time, even towards the end of last year. But essentially, it allows you to set gates. And then obviously, depending on the width of your putter, right? Like I've got a spider putter, I've got a couple different putters. I'm not going to be able to go to the 6th gate and try and fit the spider putter in there because it's not wide enough. But maybe 4 will be the widest I'll be able to go. But you're supposed to use this to gauge the path of your putter. And then this one does the same thing for the ball. It's also got a removable stimp meter on it. So if you took this to the course before your round, you could test the stimp if you really wanted to know what the greens are rolling at, which is kind of cool. Also helps you with, if you're using their, they have these cards that help you kind of gauge how far outside the hole to aim if you want to hit a 6-foot putt that's breaking right to left on a 3-foot slope on an 11 stimp. That's going to help you fill in that stimp part. So really cool things happening. We've got so much more coming. I can't even tell you about right now. But right now we're going to have Alan hop in, kind of show you where we're going to put the turf pad, how we're going to do it, maybe some other alterations, and then we're going to get to that closest to the pin contest.
And as Jake said, we're just so thankful that the guys over at SimTurf sent us this hitting mat. It's actually going to solve several different things that we've kind of identified when we're talking about, what we like, what we don't like, some improvements. Having a simulator is a bit of a work in progress, and we kind of knew at some point, we might need to make some alterations to better suit our needs and just to have it be a better experience. So as you can see that Jake already showed you where those foot imprints are. It just doesn't look good. It's also feeling a little bit hard and flat. One of the things that we recognized early on is we thought it would be more beneficial to actually be standing on the same surface that we'd be hitting off of. So what we accomplished by putting this here is extending it out. This is 2x4. That is 2x4 this way. This one will be 4x6. So as I'm just going to slide it over here and show you what we're going to do, it will end up being like this. So as you can see, now we're standing on the same surface that we're hitting off of. It wasn't a real big difference as far as height was concerned. I don't think it was really impacting that, but it's more of an impact of the feel. This turf mat that they sent us has a little bit more give to it might be the best way to describe it. So it really does more simulate the actual surface that you'd be standing on a tee box. Because you're not standing on something super hard. You got to have a little bit of flexibility there. So we're really happy about that because we feel like visually we're on the same spot that we're hitting from. We're standing on the same style of surface.
Yeah, same color too. I don't know.
Same color.
It's kind of weird that would even play into it, but mentally maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and I just think that all around it's going to be better for that regard. One of the other things that we're going to do when we go to install this, I want to show you a couple things. Like we mentioned, because of the format and the size of it being 4x6 and this being 2x4, underneath this, Jake's mentioned the foam pads that we got from Amazon. They're exactly 2x2. So underneath here, there's 2 pieces of that foam that we removed so that the mat would sit right in the spot where those two 2x2 mats would have been. So we're going to be able to do the exact same process by removing these 2 and those two, so there'll be a total of 6 of the foam pads missing. So that really helps with balance and measurement. It's a lot easier to not to mess up.
Well, and that's why when you're planning your sim, we recommended in our initial videos, and if you haven't watched those,
yes,
go watch them. We'll link them again. We recommended using a grid system. If your space allows for it, buy 2x2 squares that go under. Maybe not the ones that we bought, or do what we're doing and don't put those where you're going to be hitting from.
Correct.
But it allows you to be a little bit more modular with something like this, because we can go up to a 6x4 hitting strip instead of a 2x4 hitting strip, or
that 2x4 to a
and it's only going to make it so we know we just have to cut out 1 extra square on each side and 2 lengthwise.
It's just going to make it so much easier, and the modular thing really does help with any kind of alteration that you might make at some point in the future. One of the other things we're going to incorporate is the power cord and the Ethernet cord that are coming from the monitor.
Yeah, why don't you lift that down and show
Yeah,
them
so the monitor, we've been normally, it just sits right here, and because it's portable, which is a fantastic feature, it just sits right here. But as you can see, the cords run across here. We've actually a couple different times gone with just the doing it wireless, and it is a wireless system, and it actually does work great. But I tell you what, we had some friends over, we're having a great time, and it was probably the internet. It wasn't the monitor, I would say. But we had a little glitch in the internet and with the Wi-Fi signal, and it shut it down, and we made the mistake of not saving our progress. We were like 5 holes into an 18-hole round.
With 6 guys.
With 6 guys, so we had to start over. That was all good, right? So what we've decided is, just for the sake of consistency and a good product for you folks and for a good experience when we're golfing, is we're gonna leave it connected, hardwired with an Ethernet cord. But that presents a situation where it doesn't look very good. We've got these cords kind of hanging here. I myself have...
You mean that right there
Yeah,
doesn't look like
we're going to work on that.
cord management?
Yeah, you remember that improvement part that we talked about?
Yeah.
That's one of them too, cord management. I personally have tripped on this and was very lucky to not have to go to the ER.
Well, and we've got junior WSPG running around
we got
here.
A 3-year-old. It's something we need to. So what we're going to do is when we go to install the hitting mat, it's a perfect opportunity for us that we're going to feed the wire underneath the section of the total turf right here and bring it up through the edge where it meets the new seam. And what we want to do though is we do want to leave a little bit of cord, so I can see it coming up right here at the seam potentially. We haven't exactly determined that, but we do want to be able to have a little bit of flexibility to
vertical
move it around.
movement.
Yeah, a little bit of movement. We certainly don't want to bring the cord up right behind it, because that's gonna, we're not gonna be able to move it around, move it back or forth.
What that does, especially now that we're standing on the same surface, is it allows us to kind of vary the wear on the actual hitting strip itself.
Exactly.
Which, to be honest, if you look at the hitting strip, we've probably hit a grand total of like over 15,000 shots.
At least.
And I mean, I'm going to get nice and close here. You can see maybe a little bit of discoloration, but if I set it down,
oh, you can see it.
I mean, there is no indentation. There's no effect on playability. It's probably just a little bit of friction on this turf itself.
For sure.
Which is
It's
quite
incredible.
Remarkable for quality.
The quality's off the chart. So we're excited about that. We're excited about getting the hitting mat in. Again, we're going to continue to try to determine, and please put in the comments if you have some suggestions regarding the strip piece here. The ball's rolling off the back. It's just been it's not been very much fun.
No.
And it's something that we wanted to solve. Thanks to SimTurf. Go ahead and being generous and giving us this as a solution.
Yeah, shout out to them. They're
great. I mean, it's just incredible. So, but we do want to try to determine if we want to put it on top, put it behind, so you guys give us your opinions, because we value that.
Yeah, I mean, the right now it looks pretty good like this. You can't see it on camera, but there is a little bit of a lip difference.
Yeah, so it's a little bit lower.
But it's not, once it's all taped down, it might not be that perceptible. And honestly, I think that's probably going to be our solution. But
I think so too.
Maybe we put a little bit of it on top to get rid of that lip, and then make an even further barrier for it.
Yeah, I mean, if we brought it up a little bit.
Yeah, or we could even shim it across, or something like that.
Yeah, we have got some extra foam mat. We could even put that underneath there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different solutions, and I'm sure Alan's going to figure it out and make it look perfect.
At any rate, guys, we're excited about the hitting mat. To be really honest with you, this is something that has been something that I've wanted to do, because it just felt strange not standing on the same surface that we were hitting from. And so I'm super excited about that, and hopefully it'll add some strokes to my game, or take some strokes off my game.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Anyway, thanks so much, SimGolf. Thanks for letting me explain. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, look at how much bigger. I mean, obviously those corners are bent up, but I mean, it is quite the upgrade.
Once it's installed, this one's sat up pretty high too, but once it's installed, it's not going to have this big lip like this, guys. It's going to be down below, and so it'll look. It's not going to look like it's sitting on top like it is right now.
You're saying it's sitting on top like it's raised above?
Yeah.
I don't really think
So
it
this,
is.
so
It's
what I
pretty-
mean
it's
by this
pretty
is
darn close.
obviously this
Yeah.
is going to be down below even like this
Yeah.
is right here. It might sit up a little bit, which is fine, but again, it solves the issue of standing on something lower than what you're hitting off of, just more consistent.
Yeah. And however imperceptible it might be, if it's something in your head that actually matters, like it's probably going to matter. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of golf is in between your ears, that's for sure. So.
yeah. Well, should we do the closest to the pin? Talk about what GSPro is partnered up with.
Let's do that.
Okay, guys. So one of the things we love most about the golf community, sim golf community, pretty much just golf in general, is it's full of generous people. And us, we love giving back to to causes that matter to us. You should go check out the video that Alan so hard worked on to get a hole-in-one at TPC Sawgrass, which was so much fun to film, so much fun to watch. I didn't have to do any of the work other than just editing it, but it was fun to watch him stress out. But we did that video in honor of one of our favorite charities, Prisms, which if you haven't heard of it, go check that video out, go watch it. It's an amazing cause. But GSPro actually announced in the last, week or so that
about a week.
they have partnered with Mike Strantz, who is the designer of Tobacco Road in North Carolina, kind of by Pinehurst, North or South Carolina. I think it's North Carolina. Anyway, first official real-life course that GSPro has brought as a official part of GSPro when you buy it course is Tobacco Road. So you can see we've got this loaded up. And they've actually got a Tobacco Road ForeBatten charity event going on right now. And ForeBatten is a charity that was started by a family whose daughter was, I guess they had two daughters. One of them was diagnosed with autism, and then it further developed into something that I had never heard of until this was brought to my attention, called Batten syndrome, I think is off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Essentially, what happens is it starts by, with an autism diagnosis or something similar, and then it kind of progresses into this rare form where it can cause blindness and seizures, and it's just anything that has to do with kids. Alan and I absolutely hate that.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's just heartbreaking.
It sucks, but I absolutely love that GSPro has partnered not only to bring Tobacco Road and maybe future courses that we are so excited to play, even though GSPro has so many courses, but this is an official GSPro course here. And we haven't played it yet, but we did load it up to do this closest to the pin simulator. I will say, looking at the ForeBatten website, they're taking donations. We'll put a link in our description for that. And then as well, they have an auction that is, you've seen these charity auctions before for foursomes at private clubs and, autographed balls and stuff like that from athletes. This auction is really cool. I mean, there's tee times at the Grove 23, which is MJ's course.
Yeah,
in
my gosh.
Hope Sound. I mean, there's so, Oakmont's on there. So if you want to do some shopping, if you've got the credit card and you want to bring WSBG with you, we would love to go. Just let us know.
Absolutely.
We will leave the camera at home and
Unless you want.
No, we're not filming nothing at no course like that. No way.
That's
no
true.
way.
I'll have to bring 5 dozen balls to play Oakmont.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy. We would enjoy that experience. But if it's in your heart to donate, do that.
Please.
And it's an incredible cause that we just found out about. So really cool. But with that being said, we are here on the 14th hole. It looks like a pretty cool hole. Tobacco Road, one of those courses that would be fun. I actually got invited to go on a trip that would play Tobacco Road. Not going to work for the spring, just with life and doing this and everything else. But really bummed that I couldn't make it happen, but at least I can play it here. It's 142, downhill 7 yards, real skinny green. Just so you can get some more golf and see Alan and I swing some shots and see where our swings are at. I've been out here a little bit more over the last week, getting a little bit sharper than maybe
Getting ready for your trip.
Getting ready for a trip to Bandon in a couple weeks. That's really why Tobacco Road wasn't going to happen. Mrs. WSBG probably would have had me strung up by the garage tracks if I would have gone on 2 golf trips this spring. But Bandon's in just a couple weeks, so I've been kind of trying to knock the rust off. So we're just going to do 5 shots each so you can get closest. And what do you say? Winner owes the other guy $10?
No. Ice cream. Oh, that's
You're not eating ice cream.
Okay. All right. Coffee.
Alan's on keto, so okay, we'll do coffee. Starbucks is good.
So is it closest to the pin or
Closest to the pin.
just closest to the green?
Closest to the pin.
I have to actually get on the green?
If none of us hit the green, it's a wash, and it rolls over to the next one.
Let's do it.
Okay, Alan's first.
Like Jake said, here we are, Tobacco Road. 142 yards. It is 7 downhill, so it's probably playing, you know, like more like 135. Very skinny green right by the pin, and the front of the green rolls back. So not a whole lot of room for error here, but we'll give it our best shot.
Oh, is it just closest to the pin or on the green? You know what, man? It's not on the green, so it's not going to count.
Oh, come on, man. All right, we'll take her.
You need your glasses?
You know what? Excellent point. Got all that one.
You know, it's funny how you don't swing the club for a couple weeks and all of a sudden, like,
Feels great.
well, yeah, it's like knocking off the rust, and we're so fortunate to have this sim to be able to do that here instead of on the course.
Yeah, indeed.
There we go.
That's right. All right, that's 4. Got 1 left here.
Look how cool that bunker is. It runs into the water like that.
Yeah. All right, last shot. Nope.
Okay, so we'll count the one that was close. I mean, that's like 2 feet off the green. So yours is 14 feet. So I got to beat 14 feet.
All right, let's do it.
Just a note, this course was designed by CE Studios, who also designed the one of my favorite courses on GSPro, Bridges at Montrose. If you haven't watched that video, Alan and I filmed our breaking, certain number series. I'm not going to give it away because we may or may not have set the record on that course, but we'll link that. Go watch that if you want more golf content. You want to kind of get back into the rhythm with us. But I've got 9-iron, and I'll tell you right now, I kind of discovered that after not hitting balls, my hands were too low, and I was pulling everything left. So I'm working on my hands being back up high. I am also, I know this is a complete side note, but just so you guys know what's going on, I was playing around with the idea of getting some new irons or messing with stuff because I just can't leave anything alone. Leave well enough alone, isn't that the same?
Yeah.
That describes me perfectly. But I actually think I'm going to maybe mess around with length and lie and loft for that matter. I got an extra version of my 7-iron from eBay. And if you guys don't have one of these and you have a sim, I recommend doing this anyway because for the most part, everybody practices with the 7, and I kind of vary, but for the most part, the grip on my 7-iron is very much worn. I went and bought an extra head, and I'm actually going to I think I'm going to soft step these shafts by 2. This is a Modus 3 Tour 120 X-Flex. It kind of feels a little heavy, and maybe that's just because I haven't swung the club and I just got over being sick, but and these things are 3/4 inch extended, 3 degrees upright. They were fit for my swing when I was coming over the top and swinging outside to in. Now I'm swinging from inside to out. So maybe it's time for a loft and length adjustment. It's funny because I was even, swinging Allen's clubs, which are standard length, regular shaft, graphite, and I felt like they were feeling better than these ones. I will say since I kind of started moving my hands up, things have started to go straight again instead of getting pulled very drastically left. But I think there's an adjustment to be made here, and I'm going to use that spare 7-iron head to experiment. And then once I finally land on it, hopefully before my Bandon trip, I'll get all these shafts and everything switched around and get some new grips thrown on there for the season. But with that being said, we'll see what we can do. 5 shots here, just got to beat 14 feet, which right now is feeling unlikely, but.
Well, there you go. A little right.
In the bunker, short. Yeah, didn't feel terrible. I should note it's 14 feet, but you have to be on grass. We're not going to count a bunker shot if one of those bunkers is somehow closer than 14 feet. I'm going to switch to 8-iron. I don't think 9-iron's going to go. Well, I told you, Alan, you might be safe. The good news about Alan is he's cheap at Starbucks. He just gets
just coffee.
Black coffee. He knows with me, it's a triple mocha, 3 pumps chocolate.
Yeah.
No whip, blonde espresso. I'm that basic.
Oh, heavens.
Basic B
High
Starbucks order.
Yeah.
That's good. Come on. Come on.
Boy, you got all that with
See-
a 9-iron. My goodness.
No, this is 8-iron, I switched.
Oh, it was 8-iron, yeah.
See, here's the thing, though. That's on the green. So I was being generous. That's fine. That's all good. All right, 2 more shots. See, that one makes me think 9-iron, but we'll just try and hit a little softer 8. Left.
Not much.
Yeah. All right, last shot. We're going to go back to the 9-iron. I think if I hit this one good, it's a perfect yardage. Nope. Terrible. So that's another thing I've been doing, I'm like bringing this shoulder up instead of shaking hands with the target. It is what it is. Early season stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it's just got an optional question before let's
Sounds good. See, I make good on my bets. If I lose, I pay. It's all good. It's all good. But like I said, Alan's a cheap date. This was an $8.60 coffee run, and
only 3 of it was mine.
yeah, Alan gets a dark roast with extra cream and a stevia. Pinky's up for the stevia part. I get a grande blonde mocha with Alan's making a gesture behind the camera right now and trying to distract me. Grande blonde mocha. If you don't get the blonde espresso at Starbucks, you're doing it wrong. I guess we're doing it wrong because we're going to Starbucks at all. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Love that. Alan's a star, folks. Anyway, I will say you're doing it wrong by going to Starbucks anyway because it's not good coffee, and I'm kind of a coffee nerd. But if you do go to Starbucks, their coffee's not very good. The dark roast stuff, I don't know how he drinks that. It's motor oil at this point.
That's right.
I get the grande blonde mocha, extra shot, whipped cream, 3 pumps chocolate. And I'm sounding like, a legally blonde coffee order.
Yeah, I was going to say
here.
it comes with something.
Yeah, it's a legally blonde coffee order, but it's less sweet. The chocolate is not overpowering when you do 3 pumps instead of 4. I've experimented with that. The blonde espresso is not as bitter, a little bit sweeter, and has a little bit more caffeine in it, so a little bit more juice. But like I said, I pay my bets. Cheers. Did I get a message or did Alan only get a message? Oh, I did. Smile. It's a good way to end the video.